brains. What's up, guys? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe. So you join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's Month. Now I know Black Women's Month is about to be done. I'm actually recording this March 31st, so we still gonna celebrate Black Women's Month. I know it's about to be April, but baby, I ain't no fool. It's still Black Women's Month, okay? But anyway, this is a special video. This is a very, very, very special video. But before we get into it, quick announcement about my Wakanda Woocation. Yes, y'all, Woocation Ghana is here. We are going to Wakanda, aka Ghana, for that December. So go ahead and head on over to woocationghana.sortedchalet.com and make sure that you sign up to see me in Ghana. I cannot wait. That December is amazing. It is an amazing experience, and if you've watched my Ghana vlogs, you've seen how I gets down in the motherland. I cannot wait to share that experience with you. So again, go to woocationghana.sortedchalet.com, sign up, and I cannot wait to see you in the motherland for that December. It's going down, honey. All right, y'all. Like I said, I cannot wait to see y'all in Ghana. All right. Let's jump in, right on in, not out, buddy. With the beautiful Black women of Temptation Island. Okay, we have Courtney, we have Angel, we have Amiah, and we have Amiah, all right? And they're all here to share their experience on Temptation Island. But before we get into them, just want to tell you guys a couple of things. Please keep it respectful in the comments, be kind, and please have grace. Don't y'all embarrass me now. Do not embarrass me. We want more people to come on the Chanel, okay? Be mindful, have grace, and please, 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 take in everything that they're saying. The ladies definitely checked me on something, and you guys will see what it is in the interview. But going forward, the next season of Temptation Island, I will definitely keep what these ladies share in mind, so that I approach things accordingly when I'm reviewing. Anyway, without further ado, let's give it up for the beautiful Black women of Temptation Island. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming back to my Chanel. It's your sister, Jessie Woo, and I'm here with a very, very special, beautiful group of women. If you have seen this, I mean, my goodness, this electric season of Temptation Island, then you know all these women's faces. They were gorgeous. I mean, they took the villa by storm. We have so much that I want to discuss. But first and foremost, I want to introduce them one by one. Courtney, where you at?
Hi.
We got my girl Angel. We got Amiah. And last but not least, we got Amiah the Stallion.
Hey. Somebody tell Meg, put me on a song.
Okay, listen. Okay, so first and foremost, y'all are gorgeous. Y'all are gorgeous. Every time y'all came on screen, I was like, yes, okay, yes, eat, yes. I mean, everybody looked good. Titties was sitting right. Booty was stacked up. I said, my God, these children just are stacked up. My Lord, I have to go to the gym. My goodness. Courtney, when you came out, I was like, this is Miss Thanksgiving right here. When she came out, she said, what was your line again, Courtney?
Oh my gosh, stop. Maybe not put me on the spot. I hope Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday because I'll be serving all the yams.
Listen, my sister said she was yammed up. I believe Mia said she's in school for dentistry, and she's like, I can't wait to be all in your mouth. I said, my Lord.
Man's mouth.
My Lord. Amiah, I can't remember what your intro was. What was your intro again?
So my intro actually wasn't technically in there, but they just did my little dance. So I said, hi, my name is Amiah. My A stands for Your Answered Prayer. And then I did like a little dance. So they just cut that part out. But
Period. Period. Okay.
But you saw the dance, and then I gave my bracelet to Lino. So
okay, cause I was like, I would have remembered what your opening line was. I remembered all the Black girlies. Angel, you didn't have an opening line. Well, you know what your opening line was? May I take your order?
Yeah, you're right.
May I take your order? You came on later on, and we're gonna talk about all you guys' experience in the house. But first and foremost, y'all are beautiful. what y'all doing up in the villa? I know dating is dating hard for y'all.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yes.
Not really.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is hard about it?
Men are
I feel
very
like men are emotionally immature.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're very intimidated by us. I know me and Angel for sure, like us being so smart, like Amiah and Courtney being so smart and beautiful, everybody sees us as like, oh, they can do it themselves type of thing. You don't need no man, which we don't. But at the same time, they're like, I don't have
They're
enough.
very standoffish at the fact that we have
Yeah.
more going on.
Yeah.
Really?
And I would
Yes.
say I'm extremely picky. So I don't know if I actually had a nightmare that they all weren't attractive the night before. And then I saw them and I was like, no way. And I feel bad for saying it, but I'm just like wasn't attracted to any of
He
the
came
guys.
in.
But-
He was
Me
like,
neither, yeah.
I had a nightmare that they were all unattractive. I said, "Oh, Amiah, why did you do that?"
Wait, did I tell you that?
And I was like, "This." Oh, dang, she was right. I was like, "Okay."
Wait, I told you about that?
Yes, you said it.
So wait a minute,
Yeah,
wait a
literally.
minute. Wait a minute. So y'all came in like, okay, it's not giving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everybody came in like that.
exactly. Exactly.
I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, I do have a theory, and I mean, I don't want to be mean to this particular person, but I was like, damn, Lino comes in. I'm like, damn, don't nobody want Lino?
That's just not my type.
I don't think it was like that. I think with
The
Lino,
attrition.
I don't think it was that no one wanted him. I think out of all of the guys there, he was very forward on speaking highly about his woman. Like straight up. Like he's probably the only one that really only spoke.
Yeah,
highly
I agree.
of women. And you know, obviously, like why would you want to test that? You know what I mean? Like if you're saying I love her, I already want to get married to her, like this is my future wife, why would you push that envelope, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did have a date. I did connect with him early on too, like one of the first nights that got completely cut out. And it was just kind of like more of a you're genuine, so like you're cool to hang out with type vibe. And we actually went on a date as well. And it was like kind of the same vibe, a little bit more on the like, okay, it feels like I'm at lunch with a coworker, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they didn't show that.
Well, they did put that. We did the like the coffee roasting, but I think our conversations were just so boring that I think that's all that there was.
Okay. Yeah. So before we get deeper into like each and every one of y'all's experience, right? Mm-hmm. So before you did Temptation Island, Courtney, I've seen you in another show. Mia, I've seen you in another show. Amiah and Angel, I haven't seen you guys in nothing else. Can you tell us, like, basically all of you, like, tell us, if you have done any other reality television show, let us know what it is, and how did you end up being on Temptation Island?
Mia, you want to go first?
Sure. So in 2022, my dad signed me up to be on F-Boy Island on HBO Max.
Not your daddy?
Yes, I was in school. I was getting my master's degree, and he's like, "I just signed you up."
Not your master's? Hold on. Wait.
What show did you sign? I'm not going on no show. What are you talking about, a show? So he signed me up for F-Boy Island. That was my first dip, and that was on HBO Max, and then it transferred over to the CW. After that, I did Lovers and Liars, which was F-Girl Island, where I came on as an F-girl, and I tried to take a man's money. That was fun.
So do you aspire to like act, or like what's your aspiration?
I think I was just doing it because I come from Delaware. Who knows anybody from Delaware? Nobody. It's the second smallest state. And I never really got to do anything like that besides competing at Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. I did all of that. So I was like, why not? I was like, I'm on a break from school. I need to pay for school. Why not go and be on reality TV? And my dad signed me up, so it has to be good.
Okay, period. Your daddy's supportive. I love that.
Yes, very supportive. Very.
What about you, Courtney?
So most people might recognize me from Too Hot to Handle season 5. The way that came about was completely random. This lady literally just slid into my DMs on Instagram and was just telling me that, oh, she's casting for a show and would I be interested? And at that time, that's when Too Hot to Handle couldn't say that it's Too Hot to Handle. So the process, I'm not going to lie, was a little sketch. There was no context, no details. It was kind of just like good faith, like hoping that it wasn't anything bad. I obviously ended up doing it. And between that show and this, I would say quite a bit of time had passed because Too Hot to Handle, our turnaround time from filming to when it aired was almost 2 years. So, yeah, life had changed at that point. I think I had moved, everything. And so when this one came about, it was a completely different process. I don't want to name her name for security reasons, I guess. But one of the ladies, a part of Netflix Reality Universe, like in the headquarters, she called me directly. It was like checking in on me, saying how I was doing since Too Hot to Handle. And she was like, hey, I have another show for you. Would you be interested in doing it? And I'm like, well, what is it? Like, sure.
Yep.
And so she tells me the name of it. And it sounded familiar, but I still had to like look it up and like do research.
Yeah.
And obviously immediately upon seeing what the concept of the show was about, I had to actually like sit there and think about if this is something I want to do. The main difference between Too Hot to Handle and Temptation Island was obviously Too Hot to Handle, you actually are supposed to be going in there looking for a relationship. Temptation Island is not that. Yes, it is technically still a dating show, but it's not I'm looking for a husband or love show.
Okay. Okay. Angel, Amiah?
For me, I've never been on a show, so this was definitely out the blue. I was actually at work when I got a DM and I was like, is this real or not? So I was actually on break and I was like, let me just see, let me text them and let me see if they're actually serious, and they were serious. And I had already asked for like my PTO. So I had went to Thailand before I came on this show, which is like so funny. But I went to Thailand and then I cut my trip short to go on the show. And then so yeah, really new for me, but I just did it just to do it, to be honest.
Okay, good. And what about you,
like
Maya?
intent behind it, to be honest. It's just I got the opportunity. I measured out the pros and the cons, and I was like, I'm already going on vacation. Let me just see. I'm on a break from school. Let me just see if it's worth it. I just did it.
And you was the show filmed in Thailand or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Okay, it was Hawaii. Okay. And what about you, Amiah?
So I've always wanted to be on a dating show, like, because I feel like I am the consumer, and I was like, it'd be so fun to do a dating show. So in college, I used to apply all the time to just like the Netflix 1-minute videos and stuff like that, but I never really heard back. And then I followed a couple of girls who did casting, so they just like post on their Instagram. So I was just like, oh, new show. I think it said Netflix on it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me just like apply. But I actually ended up applying to the couples page instead. And then it was like, oh, you need a boyfriend. And I was like, I don't have a boyfriend, whatever. Just like forgot about it. And then I prayed this prayer and I was like, God, you say you want me to be a content creator and I'm gonna just surrender it all to you. Woke up the next morning and I got the call from the show. And so I was like, this is so crazy and interesting. So yeah, just like prayed about it, thought about it. It's always something that I wanted to do. So I felt really good about it, at peace about it. So yeah.
That's good. That's great. Yeah. So now you guys are all coming in. And what was, I guess, like, Courtney kind of touched on this, but like, I guess when you guys are coming in, what were you guys expecting your role to be? Like, was it just to be there, have fun, and kind of be on your fuck girl tip? Or was it there to help? Because sometimes I would hear certain language from some of you guys, and it was like, I'm here to help you. I'm like, okay, like, are they Iyanla Fix My Lifers? What the fuck is going on? Like, I'm I'm seeing ass cheeks, but then I'm hearing therapy, therapy. What's going on? So what were you all expecting to do?
I was expecting just to have a fun vacation, meet a friend or two while I was there. It wasn't about being in a relationship for me. It wasn't about, the guys and their journey. Yeah, I'm here to help you because that's what they wanted and needed. They needed help trying to navigate their relationship. And I guess us being the girls that we are, we were the therapists. Like, yeah, we look good, but they saw us there as like people who have probably been through this. So let me ask them.
Okay. Is that how all of you feel?
No, that's how I felt.
I was gonna say I saw it literally as a role.
Okay.
I saw it as I guess I don't know how to explain it. I saw it essentially. Ideally, you guys went into this. I call it a social experiment. Trying to see if your partner was faithful and loyal before you took the next step. That's like the overall objective and the concept of the show. And so I took it as not like a mission or a game, but a mission. Like you wanted to see something. I'm going to make sure I do what I can to get you to see what you're looking for. Like, you know what I mean? I obviously, like I said, I definitely did not go into this thinking like, oh, I want a relationship out of this. This is going to be a positive, fun, happy experience. I saw the darkness in it at the very beginning, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Like the concept of temptation. Temptation alone is just a dark concept. There's nothing really happy, fun, light about that, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, just that simple, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. And so what were you all's like impression? I know we kind of touched on this before, but like, I know y'all didn't really find the guys to be extremely attractive, but what were y'all's impression of Breon, Grant, Tyler, and Lino? Like first impressions.
At the point of in the house, or at the point of when we're doing the speeches?
Once you're in the house. I feel like, because like y'all said, when y'all first saw them, y'all was like, okay, all right, well, let me just go ahead and give out these bracelets. But once y'all were in the house with them, like, what were your thoughts?
Immediately they were talking a lot. I will say that they were just, it really was giving Therapy Island at day one.
Yes. I was a licensed therapist.
Yeah. I think honestly it was kind of hard to completely come up with a first impression. The only a couple of them had a major first impression, in my opinion. Like Grant was one of them. Lino had a strong first impression. I think Breon and Tyler was like trying to read them. It was kind of not as apparent day one. I will say, but I think Grant was consistent. Yeah, and, Lino was consistent
the whole time.
Angel, you're laughing. What's funny?
For me, I agree. When I first saw them, I was just like, oh, like this can't be like what they want to.
What I signed up for.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this is real. Like this is real. But once I got in the house, I would say that they were very talkative. Everybody spoke. But for me, it was different just because I had came in the house a little bit late where connections were already formed. Everybody was more so comfortable with each other. And I was like trying to get comfortable with everybody. So like at the end, like I realized like Lino was probably my favorite because he stuck to kind of like his intent of going. He actually ended up being super sweet. I love him and Alexa. Everyone else kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. I just didn't know what to expect out of them. So I kept it cordial with everybody. And obviously with the whole Breon situation, that's just like, that was kind of weird to me. So.
And I
what
feel
about
like
you, Amiah?
Oh yeah, I was going to say my experience was a little bit different because I feel like I could just be like really delulu. And so I'm like, okay, I've tried every other type of dating. So like, let me just see if the dating show would work. So like in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is what I am looking for a relationship. I didn't know if it was going to be the guys, maybe somebody behind the scenes, who knows? But I was just like, you know what? I'm open. I'm going to see the world how I view it. And so when I went in there, I was telling Mia that I had a dream that they were all unattractive. And so, yeah, when I saw them, I was like, oh, and I have a very specific type, and I'm working on it. But
do you feel like that was
That's all that matters.
Do you feel like the Lord had already told you, okay, these men gonna be ugly, sister? I just want you to come in here and get your shine
I'm like,
on.
am I prophetic? I don't know, because how did they? Yeah, literally, it was crazy. And then I was like, okay, so this is not gonna go the way I wanted it to go. First of all, like this is already like seeing them. This is gonna be a different story. And then I was like, Lino is the cutest. I knew everybody was gonna give their bracelet to Breon, so I was just like kind of plotting on Lino a little bit, but. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Lino is the one who I had the most genuine conversation with and stuff on the very first day. So he actually made me feel like very comfortable just being there in general and like getting to talk to him and hang out with him. Because again, like everyone said, he was very intentional on what he wanted in his relationship and whatnot. So I was like, okay, cool. We can be like friends and follow each other on Instagram. Like, okay. I think I remember saying that, but yeah.
Okay, period. So tell me about like life between the girlies. Like, were the girlies nice? Like, was y'all eating on a regular? I ain't never see y'all eating.
Eating is
I
crazy.
didn't eat.
Barely.
I had like toast and like eggs. I think I made my eggs like once because I was only there.
Yeah, like anyone who made food, I was like, hey, do you have eggs?
Can I have a piece?
Literally. And I know Angel and Alex made eggs. Lino made dinner. Oh wait, Mia, you made a huge dinner, right?
I was cooking, but I was terrified to cook in that kitchen. Now I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna be real honest. It wasn't the very cleanliness place that I've ever lived in. Yeah. I'm gonna give you the layout of the house. Everything's open, windows open, doors open. You walk through the bathroom open. Everything is outside. So if you think of outside, you think of birds. Yeah. You think of bugs. Yeah. Roaches.
Lord. Oh, not roaches.
Yeah. And I think I had the worst with the bugs because I remember the girls were fighting about something. I was taking a shower, right? Just minding my business. I look up and I see a wolf spider. I come running out of the shower. I'm like, oh my God, there's a spider. Everybody's like, Amiah, not now. Like, they're all like fighting. There was a centipede this big underneath my suitcase. A bird pooped on my bed almost every single day. As for Sean, he had to change my sheets, I think, like 4 or 5 times. Ants bit me. Like, literally, I feel like I had the worst with the bugs.
I left my suitcase outside after leaving. I just left it open in the garage. Just in case anything wanted to follow me home.
Lord have mercy.
Outside.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought I was on Punk'd. Like I thought I was at, like, you know how they lied about the type of show it was for Too Hot to Handle. I thought that's what was going on again. I'm gonna be honest.
So it was that, Lord. So y'all could, so they ain't have like craft services or nothing. They have catering for y'all.
We were catering. I made fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, like. But I was like, can we get the food that day so it wouldn't have to sit in the refrigerator with everything? We would get it, make it that day. Go to the store. Get it, make it that day. Go to the store. Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall there was a couple days where we tried to do like a cooking meal for like the whole house. But ultimately, like when you're living in a house with so many people, the responsibilities of like doing dishes and doing this and that, it was kind of hard to delegate. Everyone wasn't really wanting to help, so we got some scrap that early on.
Girl, okay. And so what was sleeping arrangements?
Bunk beds.
Bunk beds. One room.
I like that was my face when I walked in and I said, oh.
Yeah.
Sharing one bathroom with how many girls?
Yeah,
12?
one bathroom, one toilet, one shower, two
They did
sinks,
get
no
little
door.
mirrors so we could do like our makeup in our little mirrors. I actually wasn't mad about my bunk bed. I've been in a sorority before, so this is not new to me. And the bed was actually pretty comfy to me. I don't know. I was
Oh my
vibing.
gosh, that was so not comfortable. It was not comfortable.
Comfortable.
Amaya's like, you know what? I'm just doing God told me to come here, and I just
My bed felt comfy. It was
you
clean.
know what? I'm gonna just take one for the team, Lord.
That was a hard 3 days.
On the couch.
Yeah,
So-
no, I ended up sleeping on the couch at one point. They just obviously didn't show that.
Yo, okay, so let's get into y'all's relationships in the house. So in the beginning, I feel like Maya, when y'all first got into the men's villa, Maya, you had the whole moment with Breon. You was well, I don't know what
Mia,
that,
Maya or Mia? Which one? Sorry.
Mia. I'm sorry, Mia.
You're fine.
I'm sorry, Maya.
No, I'm like, people call me Maya. My family calls me Maya, so I'm like,
I'm so sorry.
Like, which one?
Mia. It was
Yeah.
Mia. You was down to brother lay his hands on him. That's what I call him, because my lord. You was down to brother Breon. You was doing some neck suckage. And let's talk about the neck suckage, because we saw the neck suckage, and then we saw a little conversation with y'all, with you, Breon, and Chelsea, when y'all was talking about the whole threesome thing. So
Courtney?
I'm so sorry. Courtney, I'm sorry. Courtney, Angel, Amiah, Mia. My bad. So Mia, I'm so sorry. Mia, you and Courtney were talking to Breon about the threesome thing, and this I'm just going in the order of the show. You had the neck suckage, and I saw you in that conversation with Breon. So was Breon like a big connection for you? Because I feel like that's the only 2 times I saw you connect, really.
So most of my connections or like conversations that you saw is with me and Lino. And that was how it was most of the time. Me and Breon had conversations there, here and there. Grant was the first person I talked to when we entered the house. Tyler I connected with like after all 3, but on like a friendship level, we were like I would go party with Tyler. I wouldn't be with him in a relationship.
Okay.
But how the whole neck sucking thing came about, I mean, they told me, producers came to me and they said, look, it's boring in here. And I said,
it was boring in the men's villa. It didn't come off that way. I was like, look at the men's villa versus the women's villa.
No, it was
the
very
women,
boring.
the women's villa gave prayer night. I'm like, what's going on?
no, I was given worse than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because everybody was talking about their feelings. And I'm the type of girl that's like, girl, you're on a temptation island. You are not on, Love is Blind.
Right.
I really don't care about what y'all are going to do after this. Y'all are going to do whatever you're going to do. But the producers came to me. They were like, Mia, it's boring. I said, why are y'all coming to me? Because I've had the same producers for the past 3 shows, which has been odd. And they were like, come up with something. I was like,
Lord. We had to come up with something out your ass. You said, let me just go ahead.
Let me just go back to my college days and think of what we used to do. And we used to take whipped cream and strawberries and play like sexual Jenga. So I was like, all right, that's what we're going to do. Everybody write a little thing on the Jenga board. We're going to put Jenga together. We're going to do that. We're going to do, the only way you can get drunk, because you needed it at this point. You needed to get drunk to get through the night.
Okay.
Like you needed something to stimulate you to keep going.
Okay.
So I was like, the only way you can get drunk is if we make something shake. So something happen. So that's how I came up with that. All the girls helped me. Like we were like putting rose petals on the floor.
Okay.
Everybody was in lingerie. I was in a bra and sweatpants.
Okay.
I was like, that's as good as we're gonna get for this, because I'm not connecting with anybody. They're not my type of men. We're just gonna have fun with it. So I did that. We did taco night one night. We had a dance party. We had
I feel like y'all had a lot of. I feel like the men's villa did have I saw way more fun in there than the
And
women's. Yeah, than the
you're
women's.
welcome.
No, literally Mia did like take charge in planning all of the actual activities that are shown because it
Damn.
really would not have been
I
anything.
said, "Where's my producer credit?"
I was
Because
just gonna say that. Did they give you a producer's credit? Did you get a check on the side?
they needed to. But a lot of the games and stuff, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna do the paint party. We just gonna dump paint on our body and do this. We're gonna do a relay race, like stuff like that." I was just like, "All right, cool." So that's where most of I came into play. I was the fun. I was like, "Oh, turn it all the way up." Crank it all the way up. We're going to do everything to the fullest because it's boring and we don't have a show.
Yeah.
Okay. So then fast forward, I do see you connecting with Breon and Courtney. Y'all were talking about the threesome conversation. Can y'all kind of let me know what was y'all's take on that when he was talking to you guys about threesomes? Did you feel like he was kind of dry begging y'all for a threesome?
No, not at all. I feel like with Breon, he stuck by his narrative like beginning to end. So that is all he talked about. There was literally nothing else for him. Like he didn't go into detail about anything real, anything with substance. It was just, oh, I'm this sexual being. Like I love to have threesomes. Like that was it. That was all. What you saw is what it was.
What it was.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. And that's why I was so checked out because that was like night 7 by that point, and I was tired of hearing about threesomes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like girls, so I was just so confused, and I was like, I just can't. I was like, all right, checked out. I was twirling my hair. I was like, Courtney, stop this conversation because
I tried. I really did. I tried to like talk about other things. I tried to change the subject. I did.
That's where he stayed.
It just stayed there.
So eventually we do see Mia, you're having this conversation with, I think it was with Lino, but he kind of friend zones you. And then in your confessional, you talk about the fact that, you're not really connecting with anyone there. And now that I hear you now, I see why. Like they weren't really your type.
Yes, they were not my type. So a whole situation happened prior to that where
because you're emotional in the confessional too. I'm like, did something happen? So
something happened prior to. Basically, what it was is not what it gave on TV. Y'all are missing a huge chunk out of, the biggest chunk out of everything.
Okay, well, what's the big chunk now?
Everybody, all the guys were like, "Oh, Mia, you going on a date with Lino?" Like he was already talking about it. Like, you're going on this date. You're going on this date. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going on the date. Then the whole scene with like Alex happened, and then I guess she started getting flirtatious with him, so he decided to take her, which was out of the blue because all Lino he was really talking to me most of the time. Like we'd be making jokes, be making dinner, like we were the chefs, like. That was like my friend. Like that was like good bro over there. Like, all right, cool. Like, come on. So I was like, why wouldn't you take me out on the date? And that's why I asked. It wasn't because I was heartbroken. It wasn't because, I liked him. But I guess he felt like I was pushing boundaries and then I questioned him a little too much. So he felt some type of way. So then that's when he was like, no, like, you're my friend. And I was like, duh. Do you feel that he went for Alex because Alex was kind of serving it up different than what you were? And this is where it comes into place for me being Black. It's difficult.
I was gonna get to that and ask all y'all. Do y'all feel like the men's did not check for y'all because y'all was Black?
It depends on what men you were talking about.
Yeah, because I feel like Shantae is Black, so I feel like Breon.
We take Breon out of the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, well then no, obviously not.
Yeah, they didn't check. We weren't their type. We weren't exotic looking. We aren't
right.
We're not exotic. You aren't giving me exotic. You're not mixed with. If anybody checks my ancestry, I'm actually more Irish than I am.
No. First of all, we ain't got to check your ancestry. We saw the body. We saw the face. Okay. First of all, Black women are exotic. Let's just start there.
Yes.
Exotic is Black women, point blank, period. And the fact that any of them said that, like, you had men say this to you.
They just weren't looking at us. Like, it wasn't giving what it needed to give. It wasn't even giving me comfort. To like actually be friends with some of them.
Wow. Do all of you guys feel that way?
I didn't really go into it with the concept.
Angel's like, yeah.
I was like, I didn't go into it with the concept of if they were gonna like me or not, because again, that wasn't my like motive. Like I don't care if you like me or not. So it was more for me, and obviously we'll cover this, like you said, a little bit later, but.
No, we won't get into it now because you had you had the Book of Mormon, nigga. Well, he ain't a nigga. The Book of Mormon nigga, he came for you first. He came for you first, and I was like, okay. But then I was like,
I will say, like in my day-to-day like life dating experiences, I do tend to be that anomaly girl that they try to date. So that part didn't throw me off. Like, okay, I'll date guys and like they've never dated a Black girl before, or like I'm their one exception of this is the Black girl that they'll date, you know? And so that didn't dawn on me. It was more so how it made me feel in that moment that I was like, okay, this feels weird. This feels off. This feels uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on here. And that's when I realized, like, okay.
What was weird about it? Was it Miss Prince Charming, his girlfriend? Was it her reaction?
It was all of it. So the part that was clipped was when all of the girls standing behind me and beside me gasped. That reaction wasn't aired. And then Mark actually turns to the other singles and says, wait, why did y'all just react like that? Because again, it was so abrupt and random. In which all the girls responded with, oh, we don't know. Like, no one wanted to speak up. No one wanted to say why.
Do you feel they did that because you're a Black woman?
In hindsight, probably. In the moment, I thought maybe it was just like, oh, they feel like, oh, she's a threat, I guess. Like, because it was a competition to an extent. Camera time, airtime.
Definitely.
Getting like, that at the end of the day, every reality show is like you're competing for airtime. And so I assumed it was maybe more of that nature. I didn't really immediately think it was a race thing, but then like seeing how the show played out, it did make me feel like it was.
Yeah. I mean, as a Black woman watching it, it definitely gave.
With certain white men, you can just tell, like when they don't, you know. And Tyler was definitely one of those guys, because even I like talked to him a little bit about like Maverick City, which is just like a Christian artist brand, and like that.
Well, I know Maverick City. I go to
Maverick City.
But anyway, we're talking about
Amiah, you're not the only church girl in here, okay? Okay, I just left church. What was today's Monday? Yeah, I was in church yesterday. Thank you, girl. I know my Bible. Okay, I know Psalm 23, girl. The Lord is my shepherd. All that. I know that. Okay, love. But go ahead.
But yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is like you could just tell, and I didn't talk to Grant for reasons also.
You feel that Grant didn't go for y'all either because y'all was Black?
I didn't go for him, period.
Yeah. I didn't go for him.
It didn't matter whether he liked Black girls or not.
Period. Yeah. Good. Because I think Squidward was, okay, so Courtney, while we're talking about you, let's talk about the Breon and Alexa of it all. So you, Breon, Alexa seem to have
Alex.
It's weird. Amiah, Mia, Alexa,
Alex. Yes.
Yeah.
So Alex is the girl, but that's the other girl. Okay,
Alex is the one in our house. Alexa is Lino's fiance.
That's true. Okay, so Alex and you know, and Breon, y'all seem to be vibing. Y'all vibed up, and y'all end up having, you know, the threesome. Okay, so I want to know was that his idea or was it really y'all's? Because the way it's positioned on the show, it kind of gives that y'all were almost like begging him. And I hate to use that word, but I feel like that's how it's edited.
It was perceived.
Yes, it's perceived as though you all were really pursuing that very hard with him. And so yeah, I wanted to know, was that something that you all propositioned him with, or was it the other way around?
It's a couple things that I'll say to add to that. So one, like I said, that's all he talked about. So it did become a point where it's like, put your money where your mouth is. You're talking this big game. If you're about that life, be about that life. If you're not, shut up. Like, you know. Two, again, if you're wanting to see how unfaithful your man is, flirting exchanges is not going to be like, okay, I'm leaving him. No, it's when he crosses that line and that boundary that makes you say, okay, no, he's unfaithful. He's a done deal. You know what I mean? So that was also in the back of our heads, I would say. I can't speak for Alex, obviously. I'll only speak for myself.
Yeah.
And then also, it was not planned. It was not planned like that. It was very like
spontaneous.
It was very spontaneous, yeah. And at that point, it was sort of done. Like, yeah.
Okay, so y'all do know it's cameras everywhere, right?
So there's no camera. There were no cameras in his bathroom.
I did read that in an article that his bathroom so happened to be the only bathroom that did not have cameras. Otherwise, otherwise we would have seen it. And so go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I was gonna say none of the bathrooms actually had cameras until they did that, and then they put
Grants did.
Oh, Grants did?
Yeah, Grants did.
Because I thought that was backwards. Like they only filmed that after.
No, because they did theirs early on. Their camera was in there from day one.
I think, and this is gonna sound so bad, but I think they thought Breon was gonna do it out in the open, and they didn't have to worry about it because
the other kind of makes sense.
Oh, I said I felt like they thought Breon was gonna do it out in the open, like all this stuff. They thought, hey, he's gonna do it out in the open. There's no need to put any cameras in his bathroom. He's not gonna hide it. While the other guys are like being more timid and they're more upset about things with their girlfriends that they're gonna hide what they're doing. And the bathroom is usually a place where you don't have cameras or like don't have a camera. So that's where my mindset went. So it's like, okay, there's a reason. And I think that's what it was. So
there are rumors swirling that there wasn't really a threesome and that y'all all plotted that and set that up. Is that true?
Again, like I said, it wasn't really a plot type of thing. It was random, very random. I think, like I said, I personally knew there weren't cameras because I'm not new to this. Like I'm fully aware of like the way they set up. Like even on Too Hot to Handle, there's a camera in the mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can, if you've been on set before, you'll know where the cameras are. Personally, there's no way in hell I would ever even do that scene or suggest that scene on the bed, on like just straight out with cameras seeing right there. I would never do that. As far as like whether something did or did not happen, I mean, that was the whole point. The point was for it to be confusing. The point was for it to be not clear as day, to be honest. Like did we do it? Did we not do it? Like, you know, that, I mean, that part I will say.
Okay, now hold on, Miss Courtney. hold on, Miss Courtney. So the rumor, what you're saying is that there's a very good chance that y'all ain't really the zoo.
I guess we'll never know.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, Courtney, did y'all do it? Or did you bust it wide open or not? Don't make me. Come on now.
Y'all just air it out. Yes.
Okay.
There was actual action happening in the bathroom.
But that was solely because y'all felt like doing it. It wasn't because
it was it's weird. It's so weird because like it wasn't like, oh no, I want to have sex with you. I want to do this. I want to do, like, it wasn't like that. Again, I think for me and Alex, actually, I don't want to speak for her, but it really was a getting him. Like, let me get you trapped up in something to where, you know, you're talking all this talk, and I want your girl to see how bad you really are. And to be honest, they clipped out the parts in the confessional because obviously it wouldn't match my narrative, where I kept telling Shantae to run. Yes. I kept telling her that. I said, and there was a point where they said to us that the messages that we said to the girls in the other house would get delivered. I could tell they weren't getting delivered because every moment he came back from a bonfire, I was waiting for him to snap on me. Be like, why are you telling my girl all this stuff? You know what I mean? Okay. And that never happened. And I just felt like the way he was speaking about her was so distasteful.
Yes.
And what was he saying? Angel, you saying it too? What was he saying?
I remember when I got there, and I think we were by the pool or whatever, and he was telling me about why he wants threesomes, like what his girl can't do for him. Yeah. And I could not stand that conversation because, like, even if that's your girl and you're gonna stay with her regardless, talking down on her sexually is not okay.
Horrible.
Especially not to
on national television.
Diabolical.
Ooh, I did not like that conversation at all. So
what were like the specifics that he was saying that y'all felt?
He would say things like, "Oh, she can't handle me,"
or like my something about her leg, like, "Oh, she can't lift her leg up and it hurts," or something like that.
Very graphic, very TMI, very hush.
Like, shut your mouth now, like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's personal.
Yeah.
And that's when, I feel like that's when my scene came in too, where I went to go journal, and that's all because me and Breon, we had like Shantae said, he's very bubbly, he's very like, he has a good personality and whatnot, so I feel like that's what we were just friends the entire time. And then like I know the producers were asking me, like, because I was looking for a relationship, they're like, okay, well, do you like Breon? I'm like, well, no, because, you know, we're not equally yoked. Like, he obviously wants something else. I'm not there. Like, I have such a high standard. And so for me, is it echoing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You hear echoing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know why it's doing that.
That's better. Stay close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say too. Yeah, you and Angel stay closer when you guys are speaking too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I start over or should I just keep going?
Yeah, you can start over just in case.
Okay. So I feel like with me and Breon, we were always just friends, and I feel like I kind of got like casted for him. I mean, I'm sure we all got casted for specific guys, but they kept on. The producers were asking me, "Oh, do you like Breon?" And I'm like, "No, I don't like Breon, because I feel like we're unequally yoked. Like, he wants something, I'm over here. I have like, we're just completely different. Like, yes." I literally, and it's so crazy too, because I wrote in my thing, I was like, yeah, I want a man of God, like, all this stuff, like, in my whatever thing they did. And Breon was that, but not, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, that's so true, because he speaks of himself as if he's a man of God, and we're gonna get into that with Angel, because Angel called his ass out on that.
Right, and that's why I had high hopes and high faith, because I was like, okay, like, they know exactly what I'm looking for, like, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be super cool, whatever. And so then, yeah, I feel like during that time, we were talking about what he was saying about Shantae. So that's when like the bedroom scene came in. So we were always just friends, to say, and he was like, oh, we should journal. And I was like, okay, cool. Journaling sounds innocent, fun, whatever. We're not really doing anything because, like you said, it was like very boring. I also was I think I was the only person who didn't drink. So I was just kind of like, that's why you don't see me for a long time, because I was just kind of like doing my own thing. I have a video of me like twerking in the laundry room with like some of the talent department. Like, I was literally just like doing my own thing. But then when I came to journal with him, then he told me, that was the first time I heard about him, Courtney, and Alex. And I was just like, whoa, we were supposed to be journaling, like, you know, not talking about
you can see the look on your face when you went in there. First of all, and you were supposed to be helping. He asked for your help to write a love letter to Shantae, and you're like, okay, I got my neck licked on, and he's like, no, I had a threesome. You're like your whole face changed, and you were like, in here?
I was like, this is too much information. I don't like and it's crazy too, because actually before I even went in there, I was like, if you did anything in this bed, I do not want to be in here at all. And he's like, no, I didn't do anything to bed. So I was like, okay, cool. He didn't do anything. Like, it's chill, whatever. Okay. And so then when I went in there, and then he told me about Courtney and Alex, and I was just like, whoa, taken aback, because one, that's a lot of information. Two, I don't know. It was late at night, and I thought we were just like journaling and, supposed to be just have fun talking, whatever. So then I already felt like kind of uncomfortable then. And then he started talking about intimate details, and I was just like, yeah, no, like I can't.
Giving you intimate details of his threesome?
No, about Shantae. Basically what they were all saying earlier, like, oh, I don't even know. No.
You don't want to repeat it?
Yeah, no.
But it's basically he was giving you details about their sexual experiences.
Yeah, and I just like cut him off immediately, and I was like, no, like this conversation's way above my pay grade. Like, I'm not about to listen to this. I'm just not. Like, this is.
And that was so hard to watch. Like, me watching it back, I'm like, yuck.
Yeah, no, literally.
I can tell you, as a viewer, I felt like, I mean, and I know we should be mindful of certain words, but it kind of felt like a predator almost, because it's like, as you were saying, because you very early on said, this is not the type of conversation I want to have. Yeah. And he was like, but you're supposed to be here to help me.
Right.
You're here to,
you're supposed to listen. Like,
right. So that's the thing. Like, he did not take no for an answer the first time. So I was just like, okay, what else do I have to say to him to like exit this conversation? And with like communicating that, like communicating that I'm uncomfortable, I don't want to listen to this. And so that's when I just like came up with something. I was like, oh, I don't like how it's perceived, or like, can we have this conversation elsewhere? Never again. But just like trying to come up with something. And he was just
then
like,
he called you weird.
Then he was like, oh, you only care about the cameras, Mind you, the whole time I'm like, whatever's God's will. Like, I'm just chilling, I'm vibing, I'm just having a great time. You know what I mean? I'm not fighting for camera time. I'm really not. And that's why you don't see me at all. So I was just like, okay, that's really annoying that you're acting like this. And he knew, like, there's just so much after that. But we actually like ended up fighting for like 3 or 4 days. Like, we had confessionals, and he was so disrespectful to me. And I really just was like, yeah, no. Like,
what was he saying?
He was just like, none of the guys like you. What else was he saying? Yeah, he was like, none of the guys like you? Yeah, to my face. He was like, none of the guys like you. You're only here because of me. Like, if you're basically saying, like, if I'm not gonna listen to him, I'm going home. So that was like, send me home. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I have a very specific purpose of being here. And if you're gonna act like that, like, I'm not fighting for screen time. I'm just not. And so I was like, I really don't care. And so that's why I literally wrote like this rap song for one of our talent shows, because I thought I was going home. And then he like ended up keeping me. But yeah, he was just like literally going in on me, calling me weird, like just like very snappy. And I was just like, send me home, please.
And I want to add to that. So I don't know if you remember this, but there was, Amiah for me, I always viewed as I have a little sister. So I saw her as a little sister to me on set, and getting to see how these guys were, and like having been experienced in life when it comes to dating and just like bad guys, I guess, per se. I remember telling her, I'm like, this is not the place to find your man. This is not the place to find your husband. These are not the best guys. I got scared for her at one point, but then I realized, I'm like, she's her own person. She's gonna do what she wants to do. And I do remember just having that conversation. I don't know if you remember that, but it was weird. It's a very dark dynamic in that house, I will say.
And also, I will say, Breon did. Like, if you ask anybody, like, Breon did really like me, and he always told me. I mean, I saw he told Courtney like the same thing.
He said it, and he would say it in his confessionals.
Yeah, and I think he like really liked me. Like, and it reminds me of how I was with my ex, kind of like, oh my god, you're so cute, like, you know, whatever, like that. I feel like that was his dynamic towards me. So it felt like comfortable for a minute until like he just was doing too much. And then
I think that when we're talking about this, it kind of makes me think maybe that's how he is with Shantae, is that he got to her, he beat her down. Because that's what he was trying to do with you. He was trying to beat you down, beat your spirit down, and let you know, I'm the only guy in here who wants you. You know what I mean? There's no telling. That probably is how he shows up in her relationship with her, which is why she's just she just seems so disconnected. Yeah. And she cannot see how disrespectful this man is to her face. And also it makes me think, again, going back to that bedroom scene, when I watched that, I've been in situations like that. And I was like, oh my God, like this man gives me predator. The way you were saying no, you were very clear. And it was like, no, but I need you to, he starts off very soft. Then he gradually got so upset with you.
Yeah.
So upset with you. And I'm so happy you stood your ground and you said, first of all, I'm out of here. And when he called you weird, you turned around and you were like, excuse me?
I know, I'm like Holy Spirit activated.
Now hold on, now I love God, but I love my gap too. Very much I love God, but I'll shoot you too.
Yeah. No,
I love my gap too. So yeah, that's very eye-opening that he would disrespect you that way. Let me talk to you, Angel, because I thought your date with him, you and Amiah really reminded me of each other, because Amiah stood up to him, and you on your date, I noticed how you guys are going on your date, and it looks like confessionals are filmed before and after. Is that true? Okay. Yeah. So in the pre-confessionals, he's very excited to get with you. Oh my gosh, this is Angel. She's bad. You know, he had met you in the restaurant. He was really excited. And he talked about how he couldn't wait to have a deeper conversation with you. So you lay on the table. Cakes is out. Okay. Yams is yamming. I said, Lord have mercy, my sister. The yams is on the table. So the yams is on the table. He's, he rubbing down the yams. Then you start hitting him with hard questions. I'm like, okay, bitch, clock the fuck in. You was like, yeah, so you're a man of God. However, talk to me about that date and what made you ask him the questions that you asked him. You said you're a man of God, but you want threesomes. You say you want a woman of God, but you have one and you're mistreating her. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so I grew up in the church. I'm a pastor's kid. I'm used to guys saying like, yeah, I'm a man of God, and then like cheat on their girlfriends, their wives. Like I've seen that and it's disgusting. So that's why I started off like strong. Like what did you do? Like, why is this not working with you guys? Why do you long for this like dark fantasy? What's the reason? And I noticed looking back, like he gave me answers, but they weren't clear answers. It was like beating around the bush constantly. Every single question that I asked was never answered clearly. And yeah, that's why like after I was just like, you sound so dumb. Like nothing is making sense here at all. So
yeah, you said that in your confessional too. You was like, I think he's dumb.
Yeah, like
oh my God.
I couldn't stay there for like a long time. And I actually asked like the guys after that to let me go. I'm like, can you guys let me go? Like it was so hard for me to stay there.
As in getting eliminated?
Yeah.
Really? It was that bad?
Yes.
Like
y'all see this whole like scene with the girls like in the guys' villa like having fun, but it was so hard to stay there. For me, at least. Like, for me, at least. It was very hard.
You speaking for the group.
You're speaking for the group.
When I got eliminated, like, I was crying more because of I'm leaving the girls that I've built. Like, the girls I was... Like, it wasn't them. I didn't care about you guys. I was having fun. Like, we were chilling. We were by the pool every day talking. Like, these girls know more about me than I think my own mom does half the time. Because it's time for us to, like, just release everything.
So, with no phones, like all we have is each other.
All we had was each other to talk about everything. And it was just hard. And I got eliminated and I made like a big scene. I was like, all right, that's my camera time. Cut the cameras, all done. Y'all good? Y'all got what y'all needed? They were like, yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. Because I forgot to ask you that too. I was like, okay, you didn't really make any connections, but then when it was time for you to leave, you cut it off. He's like, anyway, I see that I'm not y'all's type and y'all don't like my heart. I was like, yes, sister, you better get your Emmy. You better get your
No, I need an Oscar. I need, when I tell you, and then there was a whole scene, like cameras were following me. I was like, oh, it's going down. Y'all want to eliminate me first? Watch what's about to happen.
Okay, period.
Made a huge scene, and then as soon as the cameras were off, I was packing my stuff. My stuff was packed because I had a feeling it was already packed. All I had to do was roll my suitcase out.
Period. My sister came to work. She clocked in. She worked. All right, y'all got y'all scene. Everybody good? All right, let's.
I said, y'all okay? Everybody good? Well, I'll see y'all on the outside. Call me when y'all need me.
Okay, period.
I was like, my time here is done.
Okay, period. Over. There was a moment, Angel, that this is like post your date, how it's shown on the show. But there's a moment post your date where you're in the kitchen. Breon is passing you. You're in the kitchen with someone else. And you were like, you said, he's fucking weird. He's a fucking weirdo. Then it's like another scene. Literally, there's another scene with another girl. I think her name was like Olivia and one girl named Danny.
Oh, Olivia, yeah.
And they were talking about him too. Oh my God, he's fucking weird. Like they were just going, he's fucking weird. I don't know how he has a girlfriend. This is what was happening in the house with him that made all the girls come up to this conclusion that he was a fucking weirdo?
For me, there are certain people that I associate with on the outside world, and I don't want to speak bad about him. It's just like, that's not the type of person who I would hang out with on the outside world. So forcing myself to be in this house and talk to somebody who I wouldn't normally talk to was so hard for me. And then just the whole dynamic with what he had going on, that's weird. Like, you cannot say that you're a man of God and then like you have this dark fantasy. And I'm not here to judge. Like, I have my own indifferences and stuff like that, but it's just, I just thought he was weird, and a lot of people did too. So
I did see somewhere, I think it's on TikTok, you and I think someone else said that post the show that Breon tried to reach out to them. Is that true?
He didn't try to reach out to me. So when I was eliminated, he came out, like we were in the back waiting for a van. And it was me, Melissa, Alex, and I forgot who else was there. He comes out, passes me his number, on a piece of paper, writes down his number and passes it to me. And mind you, in the villa, I was like making small talk. I'm like, yeah, like, you know, I live in Atlanta, like just making small talk.
No.
It's just, listen, I'm just trying to make some conversation here. Like, I'm only here for 3 days. So when he passed me his number, I promise you, all the producers looked at me and was like, for real? Like, for real.
Oh my God.
And obviously I didn't take it. I threw it away like 5 seconds later. Yeah. But it's like the audacity for you to even come up to me and do that, like, be so funny.
Yeah. So he was obviously trying to stay in contact with you after the experience. Yeah. Courtney, your elimination to me, I think, was very shocking because this is post the threesome. And I remember, like, post the threesome, he had an opportunity to pick a girl for a date. He didn't pick you. He picks Angel. And I was like, I was perplexed by that. Because I was like, okay, you just had a threesome with this girl. You had a date with her too. It looks like y'all are hitting her off. Why are you going for Angel? And then he started making a move for Amiah. So first things first, I want to say, did the elimination of you shock you?
No. Prior, like we mentioned, the conditions of the house, I was ready to go. I asked to stay in my own hotel at one point. I would pay for it. Wow. So like I said, I understood what the assignment was. And after the assignment was done, I didn't even speak to him on set. I literally went about my business, going back to talking to the girls, Olivia, Riley, Mia, whoever. And I just started just counting down the days until it was my time to go. Because one thing that they don't show is that the guys thought they were running the production at the end of the day. Their objective was to run the show and create this this dynamic where they start off really good, then there's the climax where they're like doing the worst things ever, and then they can bring it back down to appease their girls. That was their like MO.
They let y'all know that?
The guys did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They it was very it was very verbalized that we're gonna put on a TV show.
You gotta think who got eliminated first. The party starter.
The party starters, the fun, the people who were, you know, giving the dynamics were sent home first to bring it back full circle.
I said in my reviews, because people were like, I said, I always felt like, so maybe I was wrong. I said, I feel like Brianna eliminated you, but then tried to go for Angel and then Amiah. And I was like, it was clear Amiah and Angel didn't like him.
Right. He knew
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So like, I was even confused that I stayed. Like, it doesn't show this, but like at the elimination, I was so confused. I'm like, y'all are keeping me here for what? Like,
Angel was sitting on the couch like that. I looked at I was watching and he said,
every single
why are you shocked?
reaction
I just didn't think that I would be here again. Yeah.
Every single girl's reaction, you can see it played back how we really all felt. Like we were all done. We were all ready to go. Like
what?
Yeah, like it was getting to the point where it felt overextended. Like, okay, this didn't need to be for 4 weeks. This could have got all of what y'all needed in 2 weeks and been gone. To be honest.
Yeah.
It started to feel like a drag. Especially when, like I said, the guys tried to take control over the story.
So were there any other instances? I know Breon was very obviously weird, but were there any other instances with any of the other guys that were kind of weird to you all?
Grant to me was overtly aggressive, like anger issues aggressive. Yes. He actually yelled in my face at one point on set. Yeah.
Saying what?
He was mad. This is like, again, all off camera stuff. I had actually asked him why Mia got sent home because from the way things were going, it was definitely left field and I didn't see it coming. And to be honest, without her being there, I was like, I gotta go too.
He's like, I'm packing my bag. I'm gone.
Because it was painful. It was painful. And so, and also just, you know, just having someone who's like doing this whole project that's been through this before, understands everything. Like that relation for us was very strong and it helped a lot. So yeah, he got mad at me for questioning him, basically. Like, it's my decision, it's our decision, don't ask me any questions, like that kind of conversation. Tyler, again, I stopped associating with him midway, I want to say. Because again, he also showed some scary signs of like telling me that, oh gosh, this is so much. I don't even know where to begin because he basically said, oh, Kay's not my girl, is what he told me. And when it came to like doing the challenges and the games and the fun stuff or the party scenes, and because I asked him, I was like, it looks like you guys really have something going on. Right. So I'm going to back out. Like, am I... you know, and he was like, no, don't do that. He was like, Kay's not my girl. And I'm like,
yeah, he said that.
Okay, well, I'm still going to see my way out because I don't know. I still don't know what's going on here. And then Lino, again, like I said, it was very day one for me with him respecting his relationship. Like I wasn't going to cross that.
Were there ever any instances where like the men would kind of sideswipe each other to get to y'all? Because I feel like there was a point where, okay, like when Squidward first got in the house, he got with Grant. When he first got in the house, he connected with Olivia. Is that what the name was? And then all of a sudden he got with Shower Girl. But then like when it was time for him to pick his final two girls, he picked the Shower Girl and then he picked Alex, which I thought was weird. So I was like, was he trying to sideswipe? Like, was he keeping Alex in there for?
Oh, you're talking about that elimination, right?
Yeah, like were the men trying to?
Funny, I think.
I think they were trying to do that for themselves, for their own sake, choose other people's girls so that their girl won't get mad that they chose that girl.
Yeah, that was very evident watching it back. That they basically knew who they specifically wanted, but to make them look less guilty, they told the other one to pick this one and you pick that one. Again, it was them plotting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was also a scene. I didn't mean to cut you off. There was also a scene that's not shown at all, and I didn't finish the show, so I don't really know if it's shown or not. But we were at dinner. This was after we had eliminations, I believe. Amiah, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember that next day where Brian brought us chocolates because he did something at dinner? What was the reason for that?
Wait, why he brought us stuff?
Yeah.
So basically, when I had told him no to the date because of the reasons, like, because there was multiple reasons. One was because he was disrespecting some of the single girls.
And just for the viewers, just so the viewers understand too, there is a moment where post Breon calling Amiah weird, how it's shown on the show is you have Amiah letting him know, first of all, you're disrespectful, you're doing things in this house that are disrespectful to Shantae. And also in your confessionals, you was wearing his ass the fuck out in confessionals to the point where they showed your confessionals to Shantae. And I was wondering why there was also something that you said to Breon. I was like, why didn't they show I wondered why they didn't show Shantae him disrespecting you. I wondered that. I thought that was a little weird. But anyway, so this is post all of this. You guys are at dinner. What did he do?
Oh, so at dinner, he was just being, I can't remember exactly what happened, but we went to dinner. We were still fighting about the same thing. So at that dinner, we were wearing all black scene where we wore the clothes after the elimination. We were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And, I got nothing better to do. So I'm just like, let me just argue with this man. And I was low-key having fun. Not going to lie, a little toxic, but whatever. I was like, I'm really about to make this man understand why he's being disrespectful. And like it wasn't until, like, I kid you not, we were arguing for so long, but it wasn't until I said, like, as a man, you should make me feel safe as a woman. And then he was like, oh, okay, like I see what you're saying. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then he had asked me on the date and I was like, sure, whatever. And then fast forward, he's like disrespecting another single girl. I forgot, does anybody remember what?
I don't remember. Was it Mel?
I wasn't there.
No, it was Nikki.
He's gone.
Oh, Courtney was gone, child.
Oh, you were wrong. Okay, yeah. So he was basically disrespecting Nikki, and I think he was like saying some things or like questioning why she's there or like just calling her whatever. And so I was like, ooh, I don't like that at all. I don't like the way he treats other women. So I'm just gonna. Actually, I didn't know that I could say no to a date. So it wasn't until one of the producers was like, you can say no, right? And I was like, what? Because I was just gonna go on the date and like argue with him there. Like I was like, okay, like I'll see you when the time comes. I'll do my makeup with you, whatever. And so then she was like, yeah, you can say no to the date. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, and then that's when I kind of like was like, you don't make any sense to me, because all of the conversations that we had, he was like, basically picking and choosing when he wanted to be single. So he was telling me, oh yeah, I'm single right now, or like, oh no, like we're not in a relationship, it doesn't matter, And like when he was doing things with other girls, and I was just like, this doesn't make any sense to me, because you're just choosing. And so that's where that came from, because I'm like, you don't make sense. You're disrespecting women. I don't like anything that you're about, basically. And so that's why I told him no to the date. And so then he goes on a date by himself. And like you said, everybody was done with him at this point. Like nobody was talking to him. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go and see how the date went. So I like over there, and that's when he brought us chocolates and stuff like that, because he was like basically apologizing for the way that he was acting. And I was like, ooh, Shantae better get, like, I was like, if I was Shantae, I'd need like a Lamborghini or something for this man to be cleaned up. Like that's what I said to one of my confessionals. I was like, a chocolate ain't gonna do, a purse ain't gonna do. But it did seem like after that date, that was his turning point to when he wanted to be with Shantae.
He wanted to be. I feel like he wanted to be with her because there was nothing else. By that, he ran through everybody. Nobody wanted him. I remember him telling me about Angel too. He was like, "Oh, I don't like the way she was pressing him," and I was like, "I do the same thing. What are you talking about? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, she's asking you very real questions, and
you're just being, you know.
He said this in the confessional too. He said this in the confessional too.
He said I was off-putting.
Which is why I found it interesting when he kept you. He's like, oh, I'm gonna keep her because she asked me challenging questions. But I'm like, in his confessional, he was dragging you for asking him challenging questions. Right. So yeah, it just seemed as if he was, it was kind of giving Dr. Heckle and Hyde. It just was weird. It was weird. So what were some of the things that you all were sending as messages to Shantae in your confessionals?
Run, girl.
Yeah, I was saying you're too good. Like,
when I left, I said, if they can blindside me like this, I wonder how much they're blindsiding you right when you're home. Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, even as a friend, you wouldn't do that to your friend.
And that's what I said too. I was like, I wouldn't even be friends with this man. Like, the way that he's acting, like, this is not even a good friendship at this point.
I even told them at one point, like, as I was leaving, I said, honestly, your girlfriends don't deserve the way you're treating them. I said, and neither do any of the girls in this house.
Yeah.
Go home by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked
away. Do you all feel that the men were really genuinely there to leave with their women, or do you feel that they took a vacation to see if they could run through all the women in the house?
I was going to say, because I had the last date with Breon, right? So literally during that date, it was just kind of like us talking about his relationship. And I was really encouraging him to leave by himself. I was like, this would make a lot of sense for you. We talked about what that would even look like for Shantae and viewers and like what they would think of her. And he did not care. He was just like, I want to be with her, whatever. But I was encouraging him, you should just leave the island by yourself. Because one, it'll make you look better. Like, let's be real. It's going to help her, your relationship. You can grow by yourself. And the reason why I had a little bit of empathy for Breon is because my ex was also adopted. And that was like his whole story. So I feel like without even having to have like an emotional connection, I already kind of understood his thought process and why he does the things that he does and like why he thinks what he wants to think. And my ex also had like that same exact process, although he didn't do like all the craziness. But so I was able to have a little bit of empathy for him because I'm like, okay, I understand like your childhood and why it's no excuse at all. But I do understand a little bit of why you act the way that you act. And so that's why I was willing to go on the last date and kind of like help him and talk him through that. Cause I was just like, it would, again, look better if you just left. You can build yourself up, do the therapy that you talked about so much on the show and, get back together with her at a later time. But that's just not what he wanted to do. And I think that even in that, he was very selfish. And I feel like as a man, like you should be looking out for not only yourself, but your person and your partner. And that just, I don't think that,
Agreed. I'm happy that you made him sleep on the floor, period. You will sleep on the floor.
You're not sleeping in the bed. And it's so funny because I think he really thought like I would let him sleep in the bed. I was like, no, you're not. You're nowhere near me. No. But I was kind and I helped him. Yeah. I was like, I'll help you make your bed, but yeah. So
are you guys overall like shocked by any of the couples post the show? I did see that Squidward did go back to what was her name?
Taylor, I think.
No, Squidward went back to Ashley.
He went back to Ashley. So he cheated on Shower Girl with Ashley. I did see that Lino and Alexa, they stayed together. I'm not shocked by that. They got engaged. Taylor and Tyler, they not together no more. And Shantae and brother Breon are still together. Are you guys shocked by any of those outcomes?
No.
Honestly,
go ahead.
Honestly, I thought that she might leave. But the only reason I say that is because I didn't know the complexity of their relationship. Like I said, I came in so late. I'm thinking like, of course she will leave after that. Like, of course she will leave after that. But like, no.
I think that they're also trauma bonded together.
I think so as well.
Her relationship with her family and then also his. And she feels like she has nothing to, you know, like if she were to leave, she doesn't have anywhere to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for
Okay,
her,
I was wondering what her story is.
yeah, I think she lacks, and I feel for her because I've also been there before, not with the family situation, but I've been a Shantae in a relationship, like I said. So like that's why
we praise the Lord for deliverance.
yes, amen. If you can do it for me, you
praise
can
the
do it for
Lord.
you. Literally. And I feel like that's why I was able to stand up to myself, which is like, it's really full circle for me because I literally just went through all of that and like came out a completely different person. And I feel like I was able to like show that like all the growth that I went through, because it is possible. It is possible for her to leave. I just think that she lacks a support system. I think she lacks a lot of like things that, I don't know, she would
What
need.
did Breon tell you guys about her family life?
I don't know anything about Shantae.
That she really doesn't have anyone.
Yeah, that I think that he told me that basically, I forgot exactly, but it was giving she doesn't have a support system. She had a hard time with her family growing up and whatnot. So immediately to me, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Because I mean, I've been to therapy too, and they always say like your childhood has a lot to do with how you're raised. Or
Yeah.
like,
He did make that comment. He said, thinking back, he said, she doesn't have very many friends. She's attached to my hip.
Yeah.
That was the talking.
Oh my God. He does say that on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, he said that to us in the house about her.
He said that to y'all too.
Yeah.
In the house, yeah.
And Angel, you said he said she has no one either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came in, he told y'all about their sexual experiences, and he also made sure to tell y'all she ain't got no family, she ain't got no friends, she's always tied to me. And
then sharing that he was adopted as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I never actually heard about his story. We never talked about that. Like I think he just like briefly mentioned it, but I just kind of like, again, assumed kind of, because I know what that kind of looks like. So
yeah, I mean, I get the story. I get it. I just feel that sometimes the way someone shares their trauma, it's kind of like, oh, I do this because of this. And it's like, bro, you are grown. You are a grown ass man. And it's hard for me to have empathy for people who easily have access to getting help, and you choose to abuse other people instead of getting the help. So that's why for me, it's like, okay, you was adopted. Okay. I mean, I've talked about being sexually abused. I don't go around sexually abusing people.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it comes a time in life where you grow and you know right from wrong, and you have to take responsibility. Oh my God, y'all spilled a lot.
You know.
I was gonna say I'm not really shocked completely that she stayed with him. I was saddened and disappointed because I'm like, here, I gave you everything you need to see that this man isn't faithful. So that was kind of like, what was the point? But at the same time, I do think like I don't know their dynamics of their relationships. It does sound like trauma bonding. It does sound like there's something deeper there that I am not in the position to make that judgment call for her. I don't know what is best for her. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, like if it was my sister, my friend, like anybody, I wouldn't want them staying in a situation like this. I would I would want them to get out of it. Which is why, like I said, I kept saying, run. Yeah. But at the same time, again, we all have different needs and different things that satisfy us in life. And if he's able to fulfill even 80% of it for her and that works for her, that's her business. That's for her prerogative. And I will say, like, because I don't want this to be just a straight bashing thing on anyone. The positive out of her is that she stood with what she wanted no matter what the world said. Like, and to me, that alone, whether we agree with it or not, was strength in itself. I do think she will eventually see maybe one day what we see.
Girl,
I know. Everybody's like, I don't think she'll ever see it, but I think she might see it one day. I do. I have hopefully a little bit of faith that she'll see it. But I think it's so easy to be blind.
Oh, you reach out to him?
I messaged Sante on Instagram because I just saw how much hate she was getting.
Yeah, same.
And being another Black girl and like seeing the hate that she was, I couldn't get past it. Like something in my heart was like, just message the girl. I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, honestly, are you okay? Like, and she was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to stay offline as much as possible. I told her, I said, you have to rewrite everything that you put out there. This is the man you want to be with. You better be with that man to the fullest.
Yep.
Hold him accountable for everything, because I texted her, I said, because you saw what he did on national TV. Imagine what he's doing behind closed doors.
I'm telling you.
Girl. And also, I don't think that she was even concerned about that too, because she had reached out to me after the show, and it literally had nothing to do with Breon at all. She was really worried about like her faith and like the fact that producers like took out that aspect of her. And so I was just like, like, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I was just
she
like,
talked about her Christianity.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. And so I feel like that's more what she was concerned about rather than Breon. And I was just like I started getting hate too, because I made this video with absolutely no context, but that was my fault. But I was just
let's not talk about the hate on the videos underneath the comments, okay? Because I'm a baby. I mean,
let me ask you guys this: do you all feel like people misunderstood you guys' role on the show?
Oh, I mean, you know what? I noticed that the boys who have the same role as the girls, they all the boys, and I guess their house was a little bit different, but I feel like the girls got a lot more hate as to like, oh, you're taking somebody's man, than like the boys doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, it's giving,
I will say,
I agree.
I feel like it's a lot of like people wanting to, and I stay saying this, project perfection. And because some of the comments said, Shantae, I wish you would have just walked away from him and then took him back behind closed doors. Like, how is that beneficial? And then as you can see, honestly, Ashley's narrative, she did do that. And they are praising her for that. Yeah, but it's really like the same thing, if you ask me. And that part I will never stand by. I don't believe in projecting this perfect world, hiding behind closed doors. Be yourself, stand by who you are, and then just live with whatever comes with it. People are gonna judge you no matter what route you choose. Yeah, honestly, like that part bothered me. I do feel like there's a lot of double standards going on, and even when I made a video, I said all this shows me is how much, men still can do whatever the hell they want at the end of the day. And women will only just throw daggers back at other women. And I get what people were mad at me for saying that, because they're like, but you hurt another woman. But again, I did.
Nobody's saying as a man, you hurt another man.
No one says that. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So I do think that,
you just checked me on that. Because I didn't even think about it in that way, but it's true. Like when you go to the women's house, you have Yemen, who's literally like in
kissing. Yes, that's what. Yes, and so I got those comments on my live too, and I'm like, it's so crazy that you guys are attacking the women for the same thing that the men are doing, and it doesn't matter as much. And also, I think about Ashley too, because like you said, the same thing. Like she literally took Grant back, but everybody looked past that. Shantae does the same thing. And I'm like, is it a race thing there?
I was gonna say it might. I was gonna say a lot of times there are a lot of microaggressions that show up differently, and I do think it is a race thing. I do think, because when I look at Ashley, I feel like what she did is 10 times worse than what Shantae did.
Yes, they were in the chicken shit.
Yeah, you slept with this man knowing he was now with Shower Girl. I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. So to wrap things up, I guess, like, what do you guys feel overall about your experience on this show? I mean, is it something that you would tell other people to do?
No. Hell no.
Literally, everybody that asked me, I'm just like, I'm gonna ignore them and not tell them how to do it.
This is a very, like I said, toxic, dark environment. Outside of reality TV, my world is filled with nothing but positivity and light. I keep the negative, dark energy far away from me. So I would not recommend. I don't honestly recommend anybody do reality. I never tell my friends to do it personally. I think it does make you a stronger person though, in a way, because now you're having to go through so many things that you would never do in real, like never tolerate, never put yourself through. But no, not this one. Not this one.
Yeah, I would
say
other shows,
different. After I got off F-Boy Island, I was like, girl, if you don't do a reality TV show, you're crazy. If you don't get the opportunity, you're crazy. But after this one, I'm like, I've never experienced so much hate. And on F-Boy Island, I had all F-boys. Like every last guy I chose, they were all there to take money from me. So I feel like it was worse than me crying. And I had cried over a guy who was there to take $100,000 away from me. And now I'm just like, so it's just like, the difference is weird just because there is that darkness, like Courtney said, surrounding the show in just the name, Temptation Island. Like,
yeah, you have to honestly mentally prepare yourself going on to this show. I will say that, like, you have to, like, for me, again, alter ego, tapped into a whole different vibe, different like personality, basically. But there were moments where I was snapping out of it, like, obviously they clipped it because it's not continuative with the narrative. But no, it was very challenging, and I would not recommend it.
let me ask y'all, I just was thinking about this too. The men, from what you guys have talked about, the way they were just speaking to y'all, and it just seems like they were very disrespectful. When the men would, like, let's say, like, come on to y'all or maybe come on to other women for, sexy time, do you know if the men were coming prepared? Like, were they coming with y'all like with condoms, or they were just like trying to be like raw?
They give them to you.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a bunch of like condoms on set.
Okay,
like,
thank God.
There, yeah. Like, yeah.
So I was like, I don't see nobody unwrapping
off camera because I don't think it's a sponsorship. I don't think it's a deal that they have that they can promote.
Okay, thank God. I'm like, I ain't see nobody unwrapping no Trojans or nothing.
Yeah, that's when it comes to TV, they have to clear that. Any cans you see, it's because they were sponsored. Any labels sponsored. Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for all of y'all? So what's next? I mean, what do you guys see yourselves doing next? I mean, I know most of you guys are saying you wouldn't do reality television, but I mean, there's so many different avenues of reality television. You never know.
Like, I would still do another reality show, just not that one.
Okay.
Because I feel like when I was thinking about doing it, and I was like, okay, let me just like look past this title and see what this looks like for me. And like after
Amiah, you give me more Love is Blind.
No. Yeah. But they would not have my type. They would not have my type.
Actual dating show.
Okay, well, if anybody can talk to the casting people and get me my type, like, yes, I would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I would definitely do another one, just not that one, because it just like wasn't what I was. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect because I'd never done it before. You know what I mean? To me, this was just like, oh, a dating show, how fun! Like, you know what I mean?
And I was telling people, y'all better come prepared. I was in the back. I was like, don't talk to me because my mental is not here yet. Yeah. I'm not here to listen to everybody's problems. I'm here to make a show. I'm here to play a role. I'm here to be the party starter. I close my eyes. I wake up. I got to turn it all the way on. That's I would be asleep sometimes with a blanket over my head. Like,
really?
They couldn't find me.
Let me ask y'all this: is the check good?
I am doing another show next month. The name of the game is the more airtime you have, the higher your rate goes.
Okay.
The more shows you do. So it is like a gameplay behind the scenes with the whole even doing reality shows. Because obviously people are like, why would you do another one? But it's still a career at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also for me, I do content, so that's always like my thing. Like that's my passion. That's what I love to do. I love to edit, and I love to do like fashion videos and stuff like that. And I feel like this has already like helped me so much. Like I'm monetized now, and I like make money off of these videos that I'm making. So like it truly was like an answered prayer. So that's why I feel like, again, like, and I feel like I was perceived exactly who I am as a person. So it really did work out in my favor, regardless of the show and like all the things and stuff like that. And I made sure I brought my Bible, I prayed, I did all the things. Like, you know what I mean? I really did stay in my bubble.
Angel, would you do another one?
I don't know. Like, it would have to be more.
Angel, you give me Bachelorette.
Yeah,
I could see you on that.
You give me The Bachelor.
yeah, like
Me and you want to be on Married to Medicine.
yes.
Are you in school? Are you in school for medicine, or are you?
Yeah.
Are you in med school?
So I'm in med school, but it's PA school, so it's a 2-year program.
Okay, but
But at this
period,
point, I
though.
might go to
Okay.
med school. I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah,
period.
but I don't think that I would do another dating show unless it has like activities. And I know this one had activities, but like
It wasn't
like
giving
competition.
activity.
so
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
Also,
I feel like
it
maybe
was kind of sad too after, because I was like, dang, I didn't really get to date. And I wanted to I was like, I really like wanted to date on a dating show. Like that was my whole
Yeah.
goal. Like I just
yeah,
wanted
like
to
this
Not
wasn't
this
the one.
one. Not this
This was
Yeah.
not the one.
I
Well,
feel
no,
like
no,
I feel like
we
y'all
learn, we listen and we don't judge.
I feel like y'all would have had like a more dating thing, maybe like on Love Island, or something.
Right.
But it feels like Temptation Island is kind of gunning for Love Island spot. So I don't know. It just seems that way. But in a nutshell, I mean, it was very entertaining to me. I mean, I feel like even in our sit down today, I learned a lot about all of you, and I think that I have more insight. And I feel like everyone who sees this, they'll have more insight on the experience. And I hope that also, too, you guys bring up a very, very good point. And I feel like y'all even checked me on this, which is to have the same outlook that you do have for the male tempters as the female tempters. I feel like with the women in their villa, I was looking forward to seeing Shantae cheat. I was really looking forward to that. I was like, okay. I was like, Hashim, do it. You know what I mean? Like I was, and then when it comes to the guys' villa, it's like, but I think the thing is too, is that we're viewers, we're looking at the men and we're expecting for them to do some fuck shit. When it comes to the women, we're like, it just takes, if the women do anything, it usually takes a minute. It takes a lot of, getting past layers to get them to do it.
So on previous seasons, it was the opposite.
Oh, really? Now you need to go watch.
So this show isn't new at all. It's just first season on Netflix. It's been around probably
2009
seasons. Yeah.
Yes, so I know that, and I feel like I saw there was recently like Montoya who went viral.
Yes.
So I was like, oh my god. Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Yes, his girlfriend was throwing that coochie like it was no tomorrow. I was like, okay, girl, damn. But yeah, so I think
like this in Spanish.
Yeah, I think that y'all are absolutely correct. And again, I hope that definitely helps people who will see this to give more grace to the women in this experience, because just like the men, they have a job to do as well. And I think that you guys are absolutely right about that. Before we go, I want to ask all of you guys to let us know where to follow you, what you got going on, and how we can support you.
Okay, I guess. All right, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at @theangelvic, and then my TikTok, @theangelvictoria. I'm in PA school, so if you want to follow along with the journey, I graduate next spring. So
Yes. Love. Wait, next spring.
Who's next?
Oh, you want me to go? Okay, I'll say mine. Oh, wait, yeah, you can go.
Go ahead, Amiah. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. So I guess for me, my Instagram is Amiah Kaylee. My TikTok is the same. And if you guys like fashion, editing, lifestyle, skincare, all the vibes, vlogs. Oh, I have a YouTube channel too, Amiah Kaylee Vlogs. So Amiah Kaylee Vlogs.
Period.
Period. I'm Courtney. My username on all social media platforms is Courtney K Randolph. Instagram, TikTok. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur and a pursuing actress. So I have a lingerie business that just launched. It's Courtney Randolph Collection. Check that out. And yeah, I mean, you will see me back on your screens. I'm sorry.
Period.
Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. I am Mia Imani. I'm _Mia Imani on everything. I am finishing dental school in the next few months. Thankfully, I will be done. Thankfully, I will be Dr. Jones. I've just been, living life. Sadly, again, you probably will see me again on your TV screen. I'm not saying this is the end. Hopefully, one day I'll get my own. I think knocking out 3 reality TV shows and failing on all of them is a thing, and I've done it. So hopefully I'll do my own dating show.
Period. Oh, before we go, I have to ask you this, Courtney, because I saw a clip of Mark has a podcast and he has Shantae and Breon on. I didn't watch the video, the full video, but I think I saw Shantae saying when she was shown the footage,
she didn't see or hear anything. Yeah.
Oh my God, I saw that. I reposted that on my story and I was like, maybe I should delete this. This is kind of messy.
I couldn't leave without asking you that. Shantae said when she was shown the footage of the threesome, she said, I did not hear all that rhythmic sounds. And Mark was like, those sounds were definitely present. So was it true or not?
So we don't get to be a part of the bonfire. So we never know what part is delivered to them. I think regardless whether the sound effect is there or not, it's subliminal. You can, put 2 and 2 together. Yeah. I think that was just, I really don't know why she said that. I'll be honest, because I don't think it would have made a difference for me personally. If I saw my man walk into any room where there's no cameras with 2 girls and close the door, I mean,
and they really need to hear it. What did he say? He said, where do we get started?
I wouldn't even want to hear it. I can already put 2 and 2 together personally, but literally, to each his own.
Literally. And period, Shantae. So Shantae, the girl said, "Run, child." This is our last ditch effort, sister. We trying to do the Lord's work. Run. Put your running shoes on and run.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
I wanted to say this on the phone. He called me to clarify a TikTok that I had made about yes, about calling or texting me or something. And he was like, it's on speaker or whatever. He's like, can you tell Shantae what this is about? Da, da, da. And obviously, I never tell a guy to his face how I really feel about him. Like, if I'm onto you, I never say that. So in that moment, I kind of just let the conversation go. But I was hoping that she would reach out to me personally so I could tell her what I wanted to say. But he sends disappearing messages. He tries to send disappearing messages. I turn them off because to me that's like a red flag. Like, why? What are you trying to say or do that needs to disappear? But I think that is something she should know because he told me that she sees all his messages. She reads everything. She looks at all of who he talks to, but you can't possibly see everything if he's even attempting to send a spring message. Just want to throw that out there.
This is post the show.
Post show.
And I thought, because we have a group chat, and so I thought, he had said something like, "Oh, you guys are using my name for clout," and he had kept on texting me about it, and I was like, I'm literally just telling my narrative like everybody else. Like, why are you harassing me about these videos? And literally,
what clout?
Thank you. That was my exact reaction. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I thought that text was about me, because he kept on like texting me about it and like, oh, I'm not mad that you're doing this, but like low key, obviously he was butthurt that I was making videos, and then my mom was like, you should just stop. So that was like, fine. I'll just stop making videos about him.
I definitely said like to him, like, obviously I don't want to be putting people in an even darker space regardless of if I think you're right or wrong. So I did say, if you feel like I'm telling too much of your business, and it's pushing you guys to the edge of like, no coming back, because I don't want anybody to have any like, I hate to say this, but suicides or anything of that nature. Let me know, because I will retract. Again, at the end of the day, you guys already put your business out there.
Yeah.
The world's going to see it for how they see it. I don't need to speak on it personally, but for the sake of people wanting answers and questions, I've been answering them. But I don't, I just don't want to send anybody over the edge at the end of the day. So I have like asked that.
What a lot of nerve. Anybody else he's sending disappearing messages to before we leave?
He don't send disappearing messages to me, but he does message me. That's about it. But it's like,
who messaged you, Mia?
Breon. But we go back and forth. So we are in like brother sister fraternity and sororities. So like we know a lot of like the similar people. So
yeah, at the end of the day, the whole cast was in a large group chat as soon as we left set. So just
everybody has everybody's
number. Yeah.
Oh.
But as for like,
he was trying to have stuff on the side.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't let it get to that point to see. Personally, I felt like, again, my job was done when I left set. I don't need
I feel like he low-key would have with me, because he used to like call me when he was like drunk and was just like, "You're the best," like all this stuff, and I'm like, what do you need? And then I would just like hang up on him.
This is post the show?
Yeah, this was before it aired. So like in the meantime, before I saw everything, because we low-key kind of kept up a little bit, he would just like call me randomly, and then like Shantae would be on the phone, and I'd just be like, okay, like, and also he was honestly the only person that I kept up with after.
He called you with Shantae on the phone?
Supposedly.
Yes.
Oh my God. It's giving.
He did.
Supposedly.
It's giving Yandy.
Yandy?
No, we had a whole conversation about like the show, and like again, Shantae was really worried about her faith, so that's why I was like talking to her about it and like whatnot. But yeah, he was always on the phone with her, so it's not like I could really say anything, and I don't think that anything I could have said would have saved her anyway. There's nothing anybody can see, there's nothing anybody can say, there's nothing that is gonna, she has to make up her mind for herself. And
on the show, she does say that she tries to make sure, like, can I trust that all the girlfriends that he has, that he's not sleeping with those girlfriends?
Oh my God! I know. I've seen 4 of his exes on my For You page.
The For You page is coming for him.
I've sent my friend 4 different women of his exes.
I do think some of those are clickbait, though. I have looked into that. I think some of them are clickbaiting, because I see on their page.
No, but there's a lot. There's some that aren't.
Yeah,
I think he says it on the show. Him and Alex have a conversation about having relations with people and staying friends with them. I do think that is probably majority of his friend group. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Can't be me. I will say that. But yeah, I think she's fully aware of that, though, because he said that. He said it multiple times.
He did say it on the show too. Yeah, he did say
that. Yeah. So
that
I don't know.
Sex with his friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess she's trying to patrol this. Okay, all right. So she's trying to patrol the situation. Okay. Well, Shantae, listen. I feel like all the girlies have sent you warnings. Hopefully you take heed to the warnings. But if you don't, Godspeed, God be with y'all. I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time out to talk to me about your Temptation Island experience. I think this was beyond insightful. I'm walking away with way, way more than I expected, and I think it's going to be really eye-opening for everybody who watches. So again, I want to thank all of y'all for joining me, and I want to thank everybody who's watching this. Thank you so, so much. Make sure that you guys leave a comment. Make sure that you follow these beautiful, beautiful Black queens that are doing great things in their lives. And again, as we talked about in this interview, make sure that you guys are giving grace, pass on that message to other people, give grace. These girlies went on the island, they did what they were supposed to do, and now they get to move on, and so should we. So thank you again to all of y'all, and thanks again for watching my channel. Take care of yourselves, and
thank you for having us.
No, thank y'all. Oh my God. And before we go, we got to show everybody our cups.
Oh yeah.
Mug.
Stanley, we are
Standy, hit up my girls. Standy, hit up my girls now. Hit up the girlies.
We
Give
need
them
to
a
connect with our scrubs.
yes, okay.
Yes, we need that, please.
Hit up the girlies. And again, thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much to the Black Women of Temptation Island. Thank you so much for sharing your insight, and thank you to all of you for watching. Make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other.
VBS, I just turn